Now let's do the last step in the meshing. Before I do the last step, I will add a peak node, okay? And this peak node just displaces the geometry or peaks the geometry along its normal direction. So I will just add a negative 0.01 of peak, and as you can see, it just decreases the thickness a bit, okay, of our geometry. Now this geometry node, I will call it my mesh, and I don't know why it's loading again when I've just renamed it. Okay, now I have loaded my Alembic group and the geometry of the navy plane. I've copied those two guys from our scene of simulation, okay, and I will use the navy plane collision geometry here to make something, or to just delete here those details here under the waters that I'm sorry, I mean I will just delete the inner area of the mesh that collides with our plane here, because I don't want this area. It will make my scene heavy and it will not appear in the rendering. So to do this, first thing, I will add an object merge node. In the object merge node, I will select my navy plane. Then I just want to displace this geometry along its normal when it's underwater, and want it to be thick in this case. Okay, so to do this, I will just add a point VOP node. In this point VOP node, I will add a vector to float to isolate the y component of my position. Okay, so now I have the y component, and I want to isolate a range of this y component, and this range will be surely a negative range, because I want just to isolate the or to displace when the plane is just underwater. So here I will connect this value. Then I will just use a range of from negative 1.1 to negative 0.3, and I will fit this from 1 to 0. And what this means, that whenever the position of my plane is less than negative or is negative 1.1 or larger than negative 1.1, I mean larger in the negative area. So if it's negative 1.1 or negative 1.5, negative 2, negative 3, it will be given it will be fit to the value of 1. And whenever the position is negative 0.3 or larger in the positive area, I mean negative 0.3, negative 0.2, 0, 1, it will be given, or it will be fit to the value of 0. And this is useful if we just want to use the node that is called displace along normal. And what this node does is that it just displaces the position of the points along the normal. So if we just display the normal, so this is the direction of the normal, it will it will displace these points along this direction, so it will make my geometry thicker, and as you will see this. Before doing this, I will just connect this fit range to the color so that you can see. Now because our plane now is just under the water, okay, it's just in this color, but if we just go to this frame, for example, now our plane is not underwater, it's colored in black, but when it's underwater it will be colored with white because we have fitted the range. Okay, so whenever the position of our plane is negative 1.1 or more negative than this value, it will be colored with white, and as you can see, if it's higher than negative 0.3, it will be colored with black color. Okay, so we can use this fitted range as a scale and to my displace along normal, but let me show you the displace along normal, the result of it. If we just okay, let me see here. If we just use this node, I have done some displacement. So this is before and after the displacement. Okay, so I will just promote the parameter of the displacement amount, and I will connect the this to the scale because I don't want to displace unless my plane is just underwater. Okay, so let me put this point 0.2. okay, and I will convert this to a VDB from polygons, and now this is VDB. Decrease the voxel size to 0.05, no, 0.01 for example. Yeah, this will take some time. Yeah, this is a large value, maybe to 5. Okay, okay, then I will just group based on this displaced geometry. Disable this by bounding volume, so it will group the points that lie within this bounding volume. Actually, in this 88 frame, there are no points, or there are no interaction between the surface of our fluid and this plane. And I will show you actually a frame that there is I will show you a frame where a collision happens, and this is not working because bounding regions or selecting by boundaries should be done with group points, okay, or point groups. And actually this hasn't selected anything because in this frame we don't have an interaction between the surface and the plane. So let me load my mesh and let me, okay, pause the video. So here is my final mesh here. Okay, and here is in frame 50 there is an interaction between the plane and the mesh, and as you can see I have deleted the area of interaction here. Actually in this scene, for example, it's not a rising scene, and our plane is falling in water, so doing this step is not critical, and it will not do a big difference, because actually when an object falls into water, the water splashes up, and this covers the underhood or the bottom area of our mesh. But actually, when you do a rise simulation, like if it's like a bottle shape or a shark going up from water, yeah, it may appear in the render, or it may make or this area may make your mesh a little bit thick, and yeah, it will make your scene heavy, because if you just simulate a rise simulation, the thickness of this area will be very big, because the interaction will start from the bottom. So you need to delete it, because it will have a lot of polygons, and it will make your mesh very heavy. So I think okay, why do we have errors here? Because it's not frame 88. I think this step may be may be useful in other simulations. So after I have grouped those points, I can add a blast node and delete these points. Okay, so I think we are done now with our meshing. We can add a file cache node and save the whole range. Don't forget, if you just save the current frame in the last steps here, you should save the whole frame range in order to be able to save the whole frame range at the final step. Okay, another thing that I encourage you to do is to make the adaptivity at this convert VDB to 0.1 instead of 0.5, because this will conserve more details. Then now we are done with our mesh. It was a very long process, and I'm with you in the support forums of if you need anything, and if you find something not apparent or not clear, just tell me there, and I will try to make things as simple as possible. Thank you. We still have one more step in this course, which is rendering and compositing the final scene. Thank you for watching.